Good morning. So here we are at Yoga in the House with Cheryl, and we're going to do our morning practice. Actually, this is my practice after my morning practice because I was outside and then it started to sprinkle and I decided to come inside. So we are going to start off by coming down to the ground for our easy pose. We're doing a nice, easy practice just to start off by warming up the body and giving it lots of loving this morning, kicking off the day right with an intention of having a positive day, right? All right, so let's come to settle in to the ground, balancing out our hands on our knees and palms faced up, maybe with your eyes closed or partially closed. And let's take in a nice deep breath together and let it go. We're going to take it nice and easy because we are just warming up the body this morning. We don't want to pull anything or injure anything. Let's take another deep breath, taking a breath in through the nose. And let it go out through the nose. Being mindful of the breath throughout our practice is important because we want to make sure that we're using full lung capacity, and with each breath we take, it's life-giving, taking oxygen to all corners and nooks and crannies of the body. It's restorative and resetting. Let's forget about whatever happened yesterday. Today's a new day, and we get to start all over. We get to determine how we're going to move through the day. So bring your hand to your heart while taking your other hand to your belly. And let's just settle in even further, getting in touch with any sensations in our body, especially the heart. Take in a deep breath. Let it go. And just listen and feel into your body. Noticing the heart beating, blood flowing through your body, energy letting you know you're alive and awake, or at least somewhat. And let's bring those hands to heart center, and we're going to set an intention for our practice today and for the day ahead in general. So it might just be to focus on breathing throughout the day. It might be to get through this practice. Whatever your intention is, just let it be. And with a nod, let it be. Take those hands down again to rest easy on the knees. And we're going to raise those shoulders up to our ears, bringing it all in, taking a breath in and holding it at the top. And as we release our shoulders, let that air out. Do it again, taking in a breath as we raise those shoulders up to our ears and hold it at the top and let it all out. Let's take that head, turn it over to the right side, looking over that right shoulder, getting in a stretch in that neck, noticing any tension in that jaw, releasing letting it go. And take that chin, roll the head down, and all the way through to the left side. And take note of any sensations in your body that need some extra TLC this morning. Let's take a few more head rolls over to the right and over to the left. Nice. And back to center. Head comes to neutral, hands come to prayer. Send those elbows out either side, pushing in with the hands. We're coming into an isometric hold. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Continue to push, 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 and release. Take those hands out in front of you, float them up, all the way up to the top, and release them. So it's kind of like painting with our fingers. Up and down. Let's alternate that right hand up and bring the left up as we release the right. It's almost like we're dancing while we're seated. Nice. Nice. And bring those arms out to the side. And we're going to actually, before we do that, switch the cross of our legs because we want to balance this out. Now bring the arms out to the side and we're going to pull those arms in front of us. Join the hands, clasping them out front, and take a little seated cat, pushing those knuckles out to the front while pulling that navel back. Getting a nice stretch in the upper back. Lift those arms up and pull those hands down behind your head and send those elbows out behind you, out long, opening up the chest, shining that heart forward. We're going to shine even if it's not shiny today. It's cloudy and overcast, but who cares? We're still going to do our practice. And let's bring those elbows together in front of our face, pulling those shoulder blades out, further stretching that upper back. And release. Nice. We're going to release those arms down. Take that left hand up to the sky, and we're going to take a bend over to the right, opening up that left side, reaching energetically with that left hand. And notice that if your knee is trying to pop up, which it tends to do, intentionally pull it down so that we're evened out in our sits bones. And release it. Reach over to the left. Bending over, cracking open the right side. Energetically reaching out with those fingers, pulling that right knee down. And release. Bring both arms up overhead, and we're going to swim those arms over to the right side. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind us, taking a gentle twist. float those arms back up to the sky and take them over to the left side. Gently twisting this side, right hand on left knee, left hand behind you. And release, coming back to neutral. We're going to roll over onto our tabletop. So knees under hips, hands under shoulders. We're going to do a little cat-cow here. So first taking it into our cow, arching up, pushing up and out of the shoulders, and pulling those hands back towards the knees. Stretching that abdomen, that back. Taking a breath in, and as we let it out, bending over into our cat. Pushing up. Pulling that navel to spine. And back to cow. Curling up. And cat. Pushing out. And release. Nice. Coming to neutral spine on our tabletop. We're going to take that right leg straight out behind us. Float that left hand out in front of us. Hold it there for a moment. Take a breath in, and as you release your breath, pull knee to elbow. In, and send it out. Pull it in, and send it out. And pull it in, and send it out. Hold it, and release. Nice. Take that left foot out behind you and send that right hand. Yes, we will get left and right correct. And take a breath in and knee to elbow. Send it out and bring it in. Send it out and bring it in. And send it out and set them down. Now we're going to take our hands and we're going to swivel them, swivel those fingertips around back towards our knees and get a little stretch here. As we do our cow pose. And take those hands over, and we're going to do the opposite, bending those hands in front of us and getting a little stretch in the wrists. When we do all of those up dog, down dog postures, we can tend to overdo it with our wrists, so we want to make sure we give it some love. And release. Place those hands flat on the mat. And we're going to do our first up dog, down dog. Gotta get the dogs, right? Gently, easily tuck those toes under, pushing up. Send that butt to the sky while melting that heart to the mat. Keep those knees bent because we're just starting out. And we can pedal those feet out a little bit. Loosening up those calves. Getting the circulation going in our legs. And then find some stillness in your down dog. Now drop those knees back to the ground, and this time we're going to walk those hands out in front of us, pushing those sits bones up in the air and reaching out energetically in front of us, coming into puppy posture. Now slide those hands back under the shoulders, and we're going to slide all the way forward while sending our legs back until our bellies come on the floor, and push up into Cobra. So a nice gentle lift. Let's do that a couple more times. So we're going to push back into puppy. And stretch it, and then pull everything forward, coming up for Cobra. And down, send it back, and pull it forward into Cobra. Nice. Lower, tuck those toes under, pull those knees towards you, push back into child's pose, and tuck those toes under, sending the sits bones up in the air for our down dog. Let's walk those feet to the front of the mat, nice and easy. Keep those knees bent. Let's grab opposite elbows and just hang. Maybe shaking our head, yes. Maybe no. And releasing it all down. And maybe finding some organic movement, just letting yourself sway. Find stillness and drop those hands to the mat. And we're going to rise all the way up, coming up for high mountain. Bring hands together overhead and bring them on down to heart center. And catch your breath here. So we're going to do a variation of sun salutation because it's early morning and we don't want to open ourselves up for injury. So take those arms down and around and up, and nice and easy we will take our half fold. Keep those knees bent, hands to the ground. We're going to do a half lift to flat back and lower down. Rise back up. Arms all the way overhead, reaching for the sky. Hands together, bringing them down to heart center. Hands down, around, and up, and welcoming in that positive energy. And swan dive down, keeping your knees bent as much as you'd like. Take a half lift and lower. And again, all the way up. Reaching for the sun, the moon, the stars. Hands together, down to heart center. Arms down and around and up. And take a swan dive down to forward fold. Half lift. And lower. And we're going to come on up to high mountain. And this time, bring the hands together. And we're going to take a bend over to the right, looking under that left shoulder. Opening up that side body a little more. And back up. Take it over to the left side. and back up. And this time, we're going to float those hands back behind us. We're going to send that heart up to the ceiling while we pull those knuckles down, just getting a little back bend in. And nice and easy, hinging at the hips, bending forward. Sending those knuckles up to the sky, maybe dropping them overhead. And drop the hands all the way to the floor. Take a little lift up to half. And lower. And this time, step all the way back for our plank. Lower those knees. And come back to child's pose. Come on up to down dog again. Float that right foot all the way up between the hands. And we're going to come into low lunge. So find your low lunge. And only go as far as your body tells you. It's so important to listen to your body. Getting in a nice stretch in that calf as well as the groin. And then we're going to drop that back knee and just gently come up, placing our hands on our knee and gently pushing up and back, deepening that stretch. Sending those arms up to the sky. Take a little arch back. And then drop the hands to flank the foot. Lift that back knee up. Place that left hand next to the right foot. And we're going to take a twist over to the right, reaching up to the sky with the right hand. Pay attention to where your feet are and make sure that you're balanced on both feet. Check out your alignment. And slowly come back to bring your hand on the ground. Send that right foot back to meet the left. Lower all the way down. Take a nice lift in cobra. And lower. And push back into child's pose. And pull yourself back up. Tuck the toes under. Come up to down dog. Float that left foot up between your hands. Come to low lunge. So resting on your fingertips, not dumping into your arms, but this is more about the legs. Drop that back knee. Push yourself up, bringing the hands to your knee. And lift up out of your body, pushing down with your hands. Raise those hands up over your head. Take a little arch back. And drop the hands to the floor, framing the foot. Lift that back knee. Place the right hand next to the left foot. And let's take a twist to the left, reaching up to the sky with that left hand, checking your balance and alignment. And float that left hand back down to the ground. Send that left foot back with the right foot. Lower all the way down to your tummy. Lift up for cobra. And lower down. Tuck the toes under. Push back for down dog. Float that right foot back up between the hands. Drop that back heel, and we're gently going to rise for our warrior one. Make sure that your hip points are pointing forward. Hold it. And then we're gently going to twist over to come to warrior two. Smiling, open those collarbones. Send those hands out straight to either side. Check out your middle finger on either end. See if you can sink a little lower into warrior two. Take a lift up with the right hand as you reach back with the left and come into reverse warrior. And back to warrior two. And come into side angle, resting that right arm on the right knee while reaching up with the left hand. So you can feel all of that power. You're not dumping into that right shoulder. Most of the power is in the legs. And take it back to warrior two. Take a little lift back to reverse warrior and come all the way down to cartwheel. Back to our plank, lowering down, lifting up for cobra. And pushing back to child's pose. Tuck those toes under. Send those sits bones up in the air for our down dog. Float that left foot up between the hands. Drop that back heel. Rise up to warrior one. Making sure your alignment is good, hip points are straight, feet are flat on the floor, distributing your weight in both feet. And shift to warrior two. See how deep you can get into this pose without sending that knee over your foot. I've been so guilty of that. It's something I need to be mindful of. Check your alignment, making sure those collarbones are smiling open, maybe even smiling with your mouth. I'm so happy to be awake. And then lift up with that left hand, sending the right hand down your leg to our reverse warrior. Reach up with that left hand. Come back to warrior two. And send it over to side angle, resting that left elbow on the left knee while reaching up with the right hand. Feel the power in your glute, your legs, your feet, and your abs. And come on back to warrior two. Take a little lift back, and send it all the way down to come to plank. Lowering down to our belly. Take a little lift up and down and push back. Let's come on back, tucking those toes under to down dog. And we're going to walk those feet to the center of our mat. And we're going to slowly come up, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders, neck, and then head. And I'm going to face you. We're going to be on the long end of our mat. So we're going to take our legs out into a straddle, arms out to the sides, bring them to our waist. Toes should be facing forward. And we're going to hinge at the hips and take a bend over. Nice and easy. Hold it there. Send the arms out to the sides. Now we're going to take a twist, bringing that right hand, sweeping the fingertips on the ground while raising that left hand up. Sweep the arms the other way. Left hand on the ground, right hand up in the air. And we're going to come back down to neutral. And this time, we're going to bend that left knee while we send that right leg out, flexing the foot. And if you can, if it's in your practice, maybe take your hands off the mat, coming into prayer. So this is a balancing and stretching pose. And hold it. And if you feel strong enough, go to the other side without touching the mat. If not, you can take your hands to the mat and just gently walk over to the other side, flexing that left foot, bringing hands to prayer. Hands to the mat. Let's come back to the center. Heel toe those feet in, and we're going to come down for yogi squat. So bringing the knees to bend and hands to heart center, pushing open those knees with the elbows, sitting up or straightening that back as much as possible, getting in a stretch all over. Maybe even finding some organic movement here without falling over. All right. Find some stillness. Hold it here. See what it feels like to close your eyes and to be in this posture. Take in a deep breath. And as you let it out, let everything down and find a seat. And we're going to come to send our legs out straight to the front of our mat into our staff pose. Legs straight, feet flexed, raising those arms up overhead, reaching for the sky. And then hinging at the hips, take a little bend forward. And you might not get so far. If it's early in the morning, you may still be tight. So you might get so far. Then take a little breath and come up. And see if you can get deeper in the stretch. Let's do that again. Come up, take a breath, and send it out again. Lift up, and we're going to take those hands behind us and point those toes. We're going to take a little lift, an arch up, pushing up with the hip points and the arms. You might notice this in the glutes. And lower down. Let's bring that right foot in to greet the left knee, and we're going to swing that left arm around the right knee as we take the right hand back, and we're going to go into a twist, looking back over that right shoulder. If you want to add a little more, maybe flex that foot in front. Now, keeping that knee bent, we're going to come back to neutral, but this time we're going to swim that right arm around the right knee, and then we're going to take that left hand, grab the right hand, and do a little shoulder stretch. Now, if this isn't accessible to you, that's fine. Just take and do what you can. And release it. Send that right leg out. Bring the left one in. Take that left arm. I'm sorry. Hug the, I'm confused. Hug that left knee, excuse me, and twist to the left. Not enough coffee yet. And then release it and swim that left arm. Now we'll take it around behind that, hearing a lot of crackage, behind our back, reach with the right hand, grab that left hand. See how you can sit up, pulling on those shoulders, stretching. And release it. Bring those feet flat on the ground, hip width apart. Come into our boat pose, and you can hold on to your thighs here behind. If you have the core strength, or you want to increase your core strength, see if you can take those legs all the way up straight. Maybe even releasing. And hold it. And bring those feet flat on the ground, and slowly, one vertebra at a time, dropping back. Nice and slow. Nice. We're going to take those hands and shimmy them under our sits bones. Take those legs out long, and we're going to arch up into fish pose. One more stretch for the back. And release. Bring those knees up. Take that right foot over the left knee. And we're going to reach between the legs with the right hand while lifting that left foot and reaching around with the left hand to greet the right one. Pull on that thigh while pushing with your elbow on the right leg, getting in a hip opener. And release. And drop that right foot. Bring that left foot over the right knee. Send that right hand between the legs to greet the left one, reaching around. Whoops. I'm sorry. Send the left hand between the legs, reaching around the right leg. And pull on the right thigh while pushing with your elbow on the left. I'm directionally challenged today. I apologize. And pull. And release. Ooh. We're going to bring our knees up to our chest, give ourselves a big hug, maybe even rock and roll, giving our back a little massage. And then we're going to lift those feet up, reach up to grab the feet from the inside, take the legs out wide for happy baby, pull the knees into the armpits, pulling out wide, maybe rocking a little bit. Our final hip opener. And bring those legs together. Send the feet back to the ground, hip width apart, arms open to big T, and drop those legs over to the left side for our final twist. And if you want a deeper stretch, take that left foot onto the right knee and pull down gently. And release. Take it to the other side. Drop those knees to the right while twisting that head to the left. And you can take the right foot on top of the left knee, pulling down gently, stretching. Our final stretch. And release. We're going to bring our knees up almost like we're doing a reverse tabletop. We're going to cross at the ankles and reach up with our hands, grabbing opposite feet. And we're going to do a little rock. We're going to rock back and forth long on our mat a few times. So back and up. Back and up, back, up. Let's do that one more time. Back and up to seated. And come into easy pose. And let's do some more deep breathing before we close out this practice. Taking a deep, actually, let's do this, hand on heart, hand over hand on heart. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Just really taking notice to what it feels like in your body. And hopefully you're feeling more open than when we started. And that's such a metaphor for being open to whatever the day brings you. And it just doesn't matter what happens today. You know that you are going to embrace adversity, the joys, everything that the day has to offer. Bringing hands to heart center, we're going to bring our thumbs up to the third eye. May you think positive and empowering thoughts today. Thumbs to your mouth. May you speak thoughtful and empowering words today. And thumbs to your heart. And may you feel all feelings and embrace whatever today has to hold for you. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for being in this practice with me this morning. Namaste.